Chelsea Manning, the former Army intelligence specialist convicted for passing on a trove of classified military documents to WikiLeaks, has filed papers to run for Senate in Maryland and will mount a challenge for the seat, The Washington Times reports. Manning's 35-year sentence for violations of the Espionage Act was commuted by President Barack Obama as he was on his way out the White House door, with the president citing the disproportionate nature of the sentence as his justification for commutation. Since then, Manning has taken on a self-appointed role as an activist for liberal causes, particularly transgender rights. On Sunday, 3 days after filing papers to run for Senate, Manning confirmed a challenge to sitting Maryland Senator Ben Cardin in the Democrat primary this year. "Yup, we're running for Senate," Manning said in an eloquent Twitter announcement that contained the candidate's first campaign video. In the clip, Manning implied a link between the GOP and white supremacy via footage of the infamous Charlottesville, Virginia, rally, and attacked Democrat leadership by showing Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer meeting with President Trump. "We don't need more or better leaders," Manning said. "We need someone willing to fight. We need to stop asking them to give us our rights. They won't support us. They won't compromise." Saying that one isn't a leader is an interesting campaign tactic, and by interesting, what I really mean is doltish, but I suppose you've got to go counterintuitive when you're a convicted felon and a traitor whose policy ideas have mostly been adumbrated by random tweet vomits. Oh, and before you ask, there's no law preventing felons from being elected to or serving in the U.S. Senate. Also, felons can vote in Maryland. Perhaps it's time for Anthony Weiner to start shopping for homes in Chevy Chase. Judging by the clip that was posted, the 30-year-old Quisling plans to try and get out the insurgent, Bernie-loving base of the party's left wing to win the nomination. Surprisingly, this might not be the worst strategy one can imagine. Senator Cardin, while certainly liberal by any rational standard, is the kind of gormless party line guy that Antifa apologist types find unappealing. Then again, Cardin has untold millions in campaign funding while Chelsea Manning has, just remember, this is now a candidate for a political party that was recently seen decrying the possibility of a Kid Rock run for Senate and which routinely lambasts President Trump for what it says are juvenile tweets. Meanwhile, Democrats now have a candidate for the upper chamber of Congress whose sole accomplishment is betraying the United States via exposing classified information and subsequently being convicted of multiple felonies, including violations of the Espionage Act. If that's not enough, let's also note that said candidate's Twitter account looks like a social media rendition of Sesame Street. And you know what? This is perfect. No one personifies the moral and intellectual drift of the Democrat Party quite the way Chelsea Manning does. Sure, Barack Obama and his retinue may have undermined America, but Manning literally and actively betrayed it. Now, Manning's trying to parlay one of the most heinous crimes one can commit into a job that involves creating and vote on policy that actively affects your life. This is your Democrat Party, America. Woe to the Republic if this turncoat, who is wholly bereft of ideas that require more than 280 characters to express, comes anywhere near the nomination.